Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I just wanted to make a quick product review video here. This is for my Vevor portable lift. It's a 7,000 pound model that works with cars and SUVs. And I just wanted to go over a few quick pros and cons. It's coming up on almost 11 months old now, and I've had to do some modifications to it to make it a little bit more user-friendly to use. One of the things I did here was I installed these caster wheels on here, and I put them inbound so they don't interfere with any of the mechanisms that slide through the beam here for the lifting portion of it. And the reason for these casters is so that I can drag these things in and out of the garage a lot easier. They're very, 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 very heavy, so keep that in mind if you're considering these. They do weigh a lot. A couple other things I've had to do is I've had to, they're very hard to maneuver on the ground without scratching them up. So I bought some of these furniture things that use this adhesive tape on it. These furniture slider pads, I got those on Amazon. I put them at different points throughout the lift here, as you can see, so that it slides a lot easier whenever I go to slide the each side underneath the vehicle. That's extremely helpful. Otherwise, you're basically just going to scratch up the metal really bad here and ruin the finish. I also replaced these wheels. The wheels that came on there were absolute garbage. They were just plastic. These are, I think, I don't want to say, I can't think of the name right now, but they're a lot better wheels. Polyurethane, I believe, wheels is what those are. And those wheels are much more stout and are able to hold the weight, and it rolls much better whenever you pick them up from the handle on this side over here. So basically there's the handle there. So when you go to pick it up and you go to tilt it so that you can roll it into wherever you're going to store it or move it to, those wheels actually busted right off, the ones that came on it. So here's the other side too. I've had to do some touch up. The powder finish has chipped off in several locations. Oddly enough, some of those locations weren't even at my fault, like right here, for example. So the finish isn't the greatest. Had to relocate these a little bit or twist them in a way that gave me the ability to better connect the hose so they weren't getting in the way. There's the wheels on that side. Couple nicks in the hoses. I got to keep an eye on that. I don't even know how that happened because I've been very careful. The pump has been fine. I haven't even had to change the oil yet on it. I just left the original hydraulic fluid in there, and it's been working fine. So I'll probably change it out this summer and put some fresh hydraulic fluid in the pump. But other than adding the new wheels on there, adding those casters from Harbor Freight, the wheels I got on Amazon, if I can find the link for it, I'll put those in the description somewhere for those wheels. I apologize for all the wind noise today. It seems like in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that's all it does is the wind blows. I also made, it comes with these guys here, but they don't work very good for like pinch welds, and I don't know if they're really meant for that because they just cut big gouges in them. So I went ahead and made and screwed together some blocks. Just got to keep an eye on them. I don't know if I'd recommend doing this, but I use this for the jacking points for putting the vehicle on it. It makes it a lot easier than doing those rubber things, since most vehicles that you work with now are unibody with the pinch welds. Other than that, other than, like I said, putting the casters on, replacing those wheels on each end of that, and touching up some areas that chipped off the paint, that's about it. Oh, and repositioning those hydraulic fittings and turning them so they're not pointing towards the ground. Let's say that's about it. That's all I've really done here. So what I'm going to do here is I actually have to repair that vehicle there. So I'm going to pull it up here in a minute, and I'm going to show you how it lifts after almost 11 months here as far as lifting the vehicle up here. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you. So hold tight. Okay, so I got my brother here holding the camera so that I can give you a quick demonstration here. So put my blocks on here. I'm going to go ahead and slide this guy under there. As you can see, it's really heavy, so that's my only thing that I can complain about, really. I guess it's going to be sturdy anyway. It'd be easier if I had a garage that didn't require having to constantly get things in and out all the time, like an area that I could work. Okay, that should be good. And so I got those positioned in the jacking points on the pinch weld. Make sure that's tight. That looks good. I'm going to go over to the other side here. And need my blocks. All right, we're over on the passenger side here. I'm going to throw these blocks on here. And we're going to gracefully push this guy jump in here. Ideally, if I had not had the blocks here, this would work better. But if anybody has an idea of a good hack as far as maneuvering these things easier, let me know. Okay, that one's lined up. That one looks good and lined up. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and just plug this into the 110 over here. And grab our little remote control. Down here, and go ahead and hit this button here, which is on the board end, and we'll just go ahead and watch the car lift up. Okay, so once it stops, you just have to go around to all four corners here, make sure these little guys here are engaged in the upper lock, because I did it on the top level. There's actually 2 levels on these. That one is set there good. Right, make sure this one's good, that one's good, and that one is locked in. Now, it is good practice, once that you lock those in, it's good practice to go ahead and just lower this guy down so that it is sitting on them, those locks. There we go. There, I see it going now. And that's the safety locks, and that also keeps it from sitting on the hydraulic things on it as well, so it's not putting all that extra strain on the hydraulic system. I do see a leak right there that I got to look at and look into that and see what I got to do there. I can see it leaking. But other than that, like I said, it's not perfect. Would I buy it again? Probably. It's definitely a lot more cost effective than your systems that they offer at like your Bend Pack Ranger Quick Jacks. You know, they're way more expensive. I don't feel like they're as sturdy based off the way I see them, the way they're put together, and they don't come with all the accessories like this did. So with that said, I would probably go with this again. You just have to watch for leaks and stuff like this has, and put some Teflon tape or whatnot on there. They keep that from some thread tape on there to keep that from leaking. So I'll address that later. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, just for reference here, this is the fluid that I chose to put in it. It seems to work really well. I got this at Tractor Supply. Honestly, don't remember what I paid for it. I want to say maybe $25. I could be wrong. It's been 11 months. But yeah, this is the fluid here. If you want to take a look at that up close, you can see this is the stuff that I got, and it works just fine in it. I still have a lot in here, so I could probably actually do a change in it and put some fresh in here in the near future. But yeah. That's pretty much it. As soon as I'm done doing the repair that I need to do, I will record lowering the vehicle. But I also have another video, if you're interested in seeing, that I uploaded for the initial purchase where I lift up my vehicle on it. This is more of just what has my experience been over the last 11 or so months that I've had it. And would I buy it again? I would say absolutely. I've probably had like 15 different vehicles on it. So far it's paid for itself. But yeah. Like I said, once I'm done doing the repair, I'll do a quick clip of just lowering a vehicle so you can see in real time how long it takes to settle. And that should do it. So we'll be bringing you back here shortly. Thank you. Okay, YouTube, I'm going to do a quick follow-up here, as I promised in the previous clip, of lowering the vehicle so you can see it going down in real time with the quick jack. I just got done doing a video on a tie rod end if you're interested in seeing that. So the first thing you got to do here is grab your remote control here for your Vevor lift, and now we got to go up with it, which is by hitting this up button here. And what that's going to do is that's going to lift it off of those locks. Okay, sit that down. You got to come down here and push those little things like that. Like that. Go around to the other side. Hi, Josh. Okay. Go down here, get that lock loose there. Like so. Get that one. Like so. Okay, make sure your hoses are all good and out of the way. And got that hose out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and let her down here. Sometimes you have to hit it a couple times to get it to go down. The button. There you go. There you go. It is fully down. So that just gave you real time. And we'll go ahead and, like I said, I'll just go ahead and pull these out of here. I got to fix that hydraulic leak that it has, and button it up. So, like I said, I'd give a thumbs up. I'd go ahead and get one of these for yourself if you're looking to do some more DIY projects and making your life a little easier. Thanks for watching, guys. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.